Just kidding, Wi-Fi's working, but I need to hurry because, you know, I haven't packed and I leave in like somewhere around 4 hours. It generally doesn't take me that long to pack, but you know, to upload and render this and all this stuff, and I really want to leave you guys with something because this one's really cool. Anyways, so I was tossing around the idea, like the other day, you guys are familiar with, of doing like a battle of FROSTIEPIXIE or Hayden or something like that. And Pixie comes on my profile and she's like, hey, you know, if you want a battle, here's my Skype and hit me up. And so I hit her up this morning and I was like, well, you know, we can try a UU or something, but Wi-Fi's really just being a bag of dicks, and I really doubt it's gonna work. And then I saw her log on and I was like, but you know, we actually got a full match out of the way, like fully uploaded and everything. So that's actually really cool, and that's what I'm gonna show you guys right now. Let's go ahead and play it back. Okay, so she leads with her Needs a Bun, her Arcanine, which I'm guessing is the Morning Glory set, and I lead with Dominic. This is a different Swallow than what you're used to seeing. It's a Choice Bander. So my Poliwrath comes in on the Flare Blitz as predicted. I was still really scared of Will-O-Wisp at this point, especially if it was, you know, the Morning Glory set. But fortunately she did switch out. I decided to take that chance. She goes to Venusaur, but I switch out to Swallow as well, predicting the Will-O-Wisp, because this Swallow operates on absorbing statuses, like, well, mainly just Toxic and Burn. But anyway, I go out to Spiritomb to take the incoming Sleep Powder, but she goes for Leech Seed. And then she goes for Sleep Powder as expected, which is like, you know, I'm okay with that. That's what I planned in the first place. But, trying to think about what else to cover here. Anyway, so I switch in expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, probably like a Leaf Storm or something like that. I really couldn't tell you what my thought process was there. I thought Toxic for some reason, but it's really early in the morning. I haven't had anything to eat, you know. Bear with me. I have my stupid moments per match. And I Brave Bird. It's Choice Banded, but it should not have done that much damage. And then I learned that it was a crit, and we determined that, you know, the crit mattered. And it didn't look like it was going to impact the outcome of the game too much. Oh, right here. So she brings in the Miss Magi, so never mind. I was like, Scarf? Possibly? You know, I can just fodder out. So I'll just Brave Bird anyway, and I can bring in something else if it is Scarf. But I Brave Bird, I call the bluff, and I take it out in one shot. And at this point, you know, Morning Glory comes in. I decide, you know, I can fodder out because I need to do something safely. But yeah, on the Venusaur, that was a weird thought process of mine. Dominic did pretty damn good. Normally I hate using Ambipom. I hate the little shit-eating grin he has, but note that this is a she. And this is my Eureka 7 team. So I needed something that was pink, something that was a girl, something that was nimble, quick, agile. Ambipom fit the bill. So we go into Ambipom here, and I decide, you know, I don't want to stay in for this. So I go to Anemone, and, you know, just to take the expected close combat. She takes it pretty well. I don't know what items on this. I'm expecting Choice Band, just by the damage that it's doing. Anyway, she goes into Registeel, and this could have been a fairly bad move if she decided to stay in and try to go for the kill. But fortunately, she switches out. I leave the Choice Specs on Registeel, which is big. This is like really big in this match. But I go into my own Registeel. She switches out, and she goes to her Hitmonlee again. And I go for the Seismic Toss just to try to get damage on whatever. She was probably expecting the Thunder Wave. I expected her expecting a Thunder Wave and went straight for an attacking move. I get out of there, I go to Spiritomb because I don't want to take a close combat, and I can take just about anything else that it wants to deal at me. She decides she doesn't want to stay in, goes to Registeel. And this thing's spec now, so she has the EQ. It doesn't do that much, and I'm sleeping. This is not the Rest Talk set. It does sleep, but it's bulky enough so, you know, it can operate by itself. And right here, she tries to go for the Sucker Punch, expecting me to attack or something of the sort, but I keep mashing Will-O-Wisp the entire time that everything's in. I didn't know that everything she had left was physical attacker, but if I burned everything on her team, it would have turned out a lot worse than it did. So right here, I go for the Calm Mind, expecting the Sucker Punch. And, it was on this turn that I should have attacked. Should have. Because she goes into Azumarill, and I go for Calm Mind, and, you know, I was not expecting an Encore in the least, you know. And now I'm stuck on Calm Mind, so I have to get out of there because I learned later this is the sub-punching set, so I don't want to deal with that. And right here I go to Dewey, you know, just to take... What the hell was I expecting? I don't think I really had much of a better switch-in that would want to take a sub-punching. Maybe an enemy, but, you know, that's not what was going through my mind at this point. It's still kind of early, so I made some weird moves. But she hits with Waterfall. Looks like it's going to be... what was it, like a 2 or 3 hit KO? I was looking away from the screen at that point. But yeah, anyways, I stay in here, and I T-Wave. That turned out to be like the best misclick ever. Because I was originally just going to go for another Seismic Toss. But I figured, you know, hey, that works. Because now it's going to be slower than this, and I was going to try to come in, you know, go for the Water Absorb. But, and you know, I kept Seismic Tossing with the Registeel just in case to break the sub, but I don't know if she's running, you know, the 101 subs. So that was probably very stupid of me at that point as well. But yeah, she gets the pair hacks on that turn, so I don't get any recovery. I go for Hypnosis just to be nice because, you know, there was the crit hit and there was a lot of pair hacks involved. So she gets her substitute up. I'm like, shit, I should not have been nice. And I go for Brick Break to break the sub. It breaks it solidly. What happened here? Oh, right. She gets the pair hacks on the punch turn. And I'm like, I'm okay with this. I tried being nice. You know, the game doesn't want it. Whatever. So I go for the Brick Break again. And, what are we at? So she tries to go for a sub, but she's too weak to. Unfortunately. So just go for another Brick Break. Take it out. The fact that she couldn't start sub-punching kind of locked it at this point. It's kind of, you know, a struggle to take one of mine out. And I bring in Dewey as fodder, because, you know, I was expecting close combat or something of the sort, or Sucker Punch. But, you know, she goes for Stone Edge, and that doesn't really work out, so I just start tossing that shit again. And this thing's locked into one move once it picks, so I might as well fodder out and switch accordingly. Goes for Earthquake, which means, you know, on the next turn I can switch in an enemy very safely. And she switches out, goes to Charlie. I did not go for... Well, Thunderbolt is the only move I had that would have hit Registeel for neutral, so, you know, I figured I'd just go for it. Hitmonlee's not really at that much health anyway, so it's fine. And she brings in the Registeel again, and she's going to be locked into one move at that point. I thought Iron Head, just for stab, and it's not doing that much. It's pretty much good game at this point. It was an excellent match. I'm really, really glad, you know, that Wi-Fi worked out, and, you know, decided to give me one good match that I could upload, especially since I've never used this team before. I spent probably about 6 hours thinking of this team, and I lost sleep thinking of potential options that I could have used. But thankfully, you know, we settled on this. It turns out to be working pretty well. I get the feeling, like with my other team, that there's some humongous gaping weakness that I'm failing to address. But, you know, I'll discover when I run into it, like with my OU Eureka 7 team. I realized, you know, I had big retarded issues with bulky waters. I'm not sure how it is on this team. I think Registeel throws me for a loop, but yeah. Anyways, I gotta go packing shit. I leave in like 4 hours, so I guess I'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully Wi-Fi's behaving a little better and decides to give me more solid matches like this one. So stay tuned.